Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and we're on site today at the Coral Beach Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, I stand corrected. Coral Beach Resort is one of the best places to invest in our market, and I'm going to show you why in this video. Now, you got to watch the video through to the end because I have chocked it full of valuable content that you're going to need. We're going to do a condo tour of an oceanfront unit. You're going to see two different balconies and a massively expansive oceanfront one-bedroom balcony that you don't want to miss. Additionally, we're going to hop into a profit and loss statement where we cover all of the operating expenses and how much these units make in gross rental income, as well as whether or not they generate a profit and loss and your cash-on-cash return. Now, we're also going to hop into appreciation. When timing the market right, how much money can you make in appreciation over a 10-year period, and depreciation? Yes, how much can I write off on my taxes owning and operating a short-term vacation rental property like a Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo? Now, I also want you to check out the investor interviews playlist on this channel because I have chocked it full of very, very valuable insights. Gosha Cook, who owns 24 properties, 15 of which are oceanfront condos, and she manages over 120 properties in our market. She delivered some amazing, eye-opening, jaw-dropping statements that we're just now starting to unpack and confirm right here at Coral Beach. Matt Freeze, who owns 11 oceanfront condos. Yes, he's more of a high-risk investor, not so conservative, but he is good at what he does, and he generated over $1.4 million on 8 of his oceanfront condos over an 8-year period. And even Rufia Nigro, I interviewed her. She owns 27 Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos, but lives in Florida. That's over $10 million worth of oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach. Why are investors buying so many? Guys, I spoke to a man today who owns 73 ocean view oceanfront condos over at the Sand Dunes. Why are investors buying so many? Well, watch the investors playlist for you to unpack that. Now, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop me a comment. I'll do my best to respond to as many comments as possible. I want you to watch the video through to the end so that you make a savvy first-time investment in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. I don't want you to hit all of the amateur pitfalls that I see investors making day in and day out. And yes, I get calls, emails, and texts all the time from investors just like you looking to invest in our market. So pick up the phone and give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I don't want to hold us up. Let's get into the video now. You'd like to invest in an oceanfront condo at a beach resort. I'd like to show you how they make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how to choose the right property manager for your goals. I'd also like to let you know what your HOA includes, how the location best services the tourist booking your unit, how your tourist can navigate the area to the best attractions, restaurants, and local events. I'd like to give you a market report on the resort that you're checking out today so that you make savvy investment decisions. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the units that have appreciated the most in our market or generated the most gross rental income. So no matter if you're a first-time investor, a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or simply a casual investor who wants to buy an oceanfront condo to rent out while you're not using it for vacation. Whether you've got 15% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's an oceanfront condo you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching this video to the end. All right, guys, we're just outside of the Coral Beach Resort, as you can see here. Now, to our left, we've got the South Seas Resort, which is kind of, I don't know how much of a resort it is. Across the street, we've got the Quell Inn and Suites. Is that what that says? Yeah, Quell Inn and Suites. Of course, we do have the Royal Palace Inn and Suites across the street. I don't know if you can see that little sign there, that blue sign. And then, of course, next door, we do have, I'm pretty sure that's the Sea Mist. Yeah, that's the Sea Mist Resort. Now, guys, a little bit further down is the Landmark. That's that building there. As you can see, outside of the Coral Beach, they've kept this property very, very well. It is very well maintained, absolutely stunning property. Now guys, April through September is that peak season. That's when you want to be collecting all of that income. It is seasonal, but you can rent oceanfront condos 12 months out of the year. People are always concerned about that. The bulk of your income is going to come in, April through September, with the peak being June, July, and August. If you're doing it right, guys, there's a parking lot to your left right there. If you're doing it right, well, you should collect enough gross rental income in that peak of the peak, June, July, and August, to pay all of the operating expenses on your unit. And if you don't believe me, guys, well, ask Matt Freeze, because he's the one who told me that. And he owns 11 oceanfront condos. Again, that's in the Investor Must Watch Interviews section of the YouTube channel. So definitely check that playlist out. Lots of valuable content on it. Well, guys, as you can see here, they are busy. Busy, busy, busy. Pretty cool setup here. Very, very nice. And this is your lobby. This is your front desk to the right. As you can see, you have some restrooms over here. You have a little balcony right here, which is pretty cool. And you have your elevators. Now you have to have a key card to access that elevator. Can't use it unless you have a key card. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. All right, guys, let's get in unit 502 right here at the Coral Beach Resort. Guys, as soon as you walk into this unit, you are going to notice tile in the wet areas on the floor. You're going to step right into the kitchen. To our left is the restroom. And of course, we have our 1-bedroom unit with 2 nice big full-size beds right here. Little mirror in the corner. I want you to see the whole room here. You do have a small window. And of course, your own private balcony, which is a very nice touch. There's a closet here, as you can see. And as you can see here, your own private balcony. That's towards Ocean Boulevard. That's on-site amenities down below us. And that is an ocean view with the resort right next to us. Now, the ocean front view is going to be this way. First, let's get into the restroom. As you can see, hi, vanity. All right, tub shower combo. Let's just kind of back up a little bit and take a look at that. Of course, restroom. Granite countertop, sink, stove, microwave, refrigerator, everything that you need. Carpet in this. Of course, it needs to be updated. It certainly can be. Another closet here with a safe. Now, there is a Murphy bed in the room right here to the left. This literally pulls down, and there's a bed in it. There is a door to be able to shut and separate the kitchen from this living room space. Of course, flat screen TV. You do have a couch. Many people will opt, some investors will opt to instead have a couch here. They will put in 2 beds or a king-size bed, and thus increase their gross rental income by $10,000. You got an AC wall unit. And the moneymaker, you do have a nice big balcony here at Coral Beach. I will say, as far as moneymakers go, we all know that balconies are very, very important. As you can see here, It's just around the way. There's the balcony to the bedroom. Pretty cool, huh? Now, so this does have a rather expansive balcony in spite of the fact that it is a one bedroom. Now, as you can see here, there is tons of oceanfront demand. Look at all of these people along this beach that are renting oceanfront condos right here in our market. I would say I'm rather impressed with the size of this balcony, given that it's a one-bedroom oceanfront unit. It is one of the larger oceanfront balconies that I've been on, and I've been on lots of them. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps up your tour right here at the Coral Beach Resort. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, as you can see, there is a great little Starbucks right here. Check that out. Very, very nice. Little seating area. Of course, there's a seating area here to my left. Multiple seating areas. Very, very nice. As you can see here, we're coming out on a deck. There's seating to my right. There's more seating to my left. And of course, a very, very cool balcony. It's definitely a unique value proposition right here. Now, as you can see here, we got all kinds of action happening down below. We do have the beach, which we're going to get to in just a minute. And of course, coral reef, the best of it happening right here. As I made a wrong turn, we're going to come this way. So guys, that peak season again is April through September. That's when you're going to get the bulk of your rentals. June, July, and August being the peak of the peak. If you're doing it right, you should make enough money during those 3 peak months to pay all of your operating expenses for the entire year. All right, look at that, different levels, as you can see. Obviously some cool stuff going on over here. As you can see, you got pools and a lazy river. You got another smaller pool over there to the left. Very cool lazy river right here. And of course, Coral Beach here. As you can see. More chairs to lay out. Lawn chairs, beach chairs, small little kiddie pools, as you can see. Nice little cool place to sit and have drinks, talk, have some food right outside the tiki bar. As you can see, lots of fun here. Now you have a beach access. Showers right here, right coming right off the beach. Just shower, rinse off, rinse your stuff off. And easy access right here, right to the beach. Not bad. Again, access on the other side as well, as you can see here. And then we have our other side of on-site amenities with a massive pool. Plenty of space to lay out, as you can see. Lots happening here. There's lots to do right here at the Coral Beach Resort. Lots to do. Got a small kiddie pool here to the left, and then straight ahead is some fun for the kiddies, as you can see. Just here. Another pretty cool area. With lots to do. All right, guys. This is our indoor section, as you can see here. We've got a pool here, another pool there. You got ping pong tables. You got all kinds of stuff going on here. Great stuff for the kids. Of course, an awesome indoor pool, as you can see. And we have a slide right here. Indoor slide, pretty cool. You got some smaller kiddie pools here, as you can see. And of course, a gigantic indoor pool. This is technically the back of the tiki bar. All right, guys, so this is Sea Level Restaurant right here, serving breakfast every day at 7 a.m. We can't get in just yet, but you can just take a peek at it. It is very, very cool. Now, on-site versus off-site property management, very simply, guys, you always want to self-manage. You do not want to hand your profits over to a property management company. Plus, if you're serious about building a robust portfolio, well, guys, guess what? You taking the helm and doing this the first year or two is going to provide you with the experience that you need in order to better understand your investment and your money. So that way, when you do hand it off to a property manager, you'll know what to look for if they're doing a good job or not. Additionally, no one's going to manage your property like you are. And I will tell you, if you're thinking to yourself that you don't have time because you have a full-time job and you can't handle anything else, then you're wrong. You need to get focused. You need to get self-disciplined. You need to get serious with yourself about your future and your retirement. Now, here's the deal. Matt Freeze owned 11 oceanfront condos, and he owns a mortgage brokerage. He's got a full-time day job and manages his oceanfront condos from his phone and his laptop. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos, 2 commercial properties, and a long-term rental. Manages them. She leverages technology. She also owns a property management company and has 110 doors that she's responsible for. The point is that, very simply, lots of people are managing this type of rental right from their phone. They're syncing their calendar with their cleaning lady's calendar. And, she's going and cleaning that unit. They're handling guests through automated text messages and emails right there on the platform. It is not rocket science. You can completely run this from your phone and your laptop. And you can be out of state. Matt Freeze is out of state. There are plenty of out-of-state investors that buy these condos and manage them all the time. Do I run into a lot of husband-wife couples that do this? Absolutely. If that's you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. All right, guys, this is where your lock boxes are for people that use off-site property managers. So they don't even have to deal with the front desk. They come right here. They put a combination in, as you can see here, and they grab their key and go to their room. It's that simple and that easy. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, your HOA fee here at Coral Beach is going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, rec facilities, legal and accounting, primary antenna cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, internet access, and pest control. Here are the attractions that create the strongest draw for your guests. Now, Barefoot Landing in North Myrtle Beach is a vibrant waterfront destination that seamlessly blends shopping, dining, and entertainment. Now, set along the Intercoastal Waterway, this expansive complex features over 100 specialty shops and boutiques, offering everything from fashion and accessories to unique gifts and coastal treasures. Culinary enthusiasts can indulge in a diverse array of restaurants, including the upscale Greg Norman Australian Grill, the lively Lulu's Beach Arcade and Ropes Course, and the family-friendly Crooked Hammock Brewery, known for its craft beers and relaxed atmosphere. Entertainment options abound with venues like the Alabama Theater, showcasing musical performances, and the House of Blues, hosting concerts and events. Now, families can explore attractions like Alligator Adventure, one of the largest reptile facilities in the world, or enjoy seasonal events like Summerfest and holiday fireworks. Whether you're seeking a leisurely stroll, a shopping spree, or an evening of live entertainment, Barefoot Landing offers a memorable experience for visitors of all ages. Broadway at the Beach. It's another excellent tourist attraction. It's only 5 minutes away. Guys, it is 350 acres of fun. Let me tell you, fireworks shows and boat rides and Wonderworks and I mean, Wahlburgers and Dave & Buster's, and there's just so much to do. You don't want to miss it. They've got a new area out there where the Hangout is, another great little restaurant. They've got golf you can play. I mean, like little putt-putt golf. It's a lot of fun. Now, the Greg Rouse Legacy Theater is a premier entertainment venue that offers a unique and intimate live performance experience. Founded by acclaimed entertainer Greg Rouse, the theater showcases a variety of shows, including the popular Music and Memories series, which features a world-class cast and band performing beloved songs from past decades. Each performance is 100% live and changes nightly, ensuring a fresh experience for returning guests. The theater has been recognized as WMBF's Best Show of the Grand Strand in 2024, highlighting its commitment to quality entertainment. With a seating capacity of 800, the venue provides an intimate setting that fosters a sense of community and connection between performers and the audience. In addition to its diverse musical offerings, the theater honors military personnel and first responders with special discounts, and during the summer offers promotions such as 2 free child tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket. The Greg Rouse Legacy Theater stands as a testament to Rouse's dedication to creating memorable, family-friendly entertainment that resonates with audiences of all ages. Pirates Voyage. Now, guys, they are doing acrobatics. It's a red team and a blue team of pirates, and they are jumping in the water. They are playing with fire. They are getting all of the guests involved. It is a dinner show. And while you're having dinner and they're serving you great food, they're getting you involved in what they're doing. It is a lot of fun. Your kids, your family is going to enjoy it so much. You don't want to miss the Pirates Voyage. The Alabama Theater, nestled in North Myrtle Beach, Barefoot Landing, has been a premier entertainment venue since its inception in 1993 by the renowned country music band Alabama. Celebrated as the #1 live entertainment theater in the area, it offers a diverse array of performances that captivate audiences of all ages. From February through October, the theater showcases its signature variety show, Iconic, a dynamic production featuring a blend of country, pop, rock, and Broadway hits, complemented by state-of-the-art visuals and choreography. As the holiday season approaches, the venue transforms to present the South's grandest Christmas show, a festive extravaganza filled with traditional and contemporary holiday music, dance, and comedy. Throughout the year, the Alabama Theater also hosts an impressive lineup of guest artists, including notable names like Josh Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Jay Leno, ensuring a memorable experience for every visitor. With its commitment to high-quality performances and family-friendly atmosphere, the Alabama Theater remains a must-visit destination for those seeking top-tier entertainment in the Grand Strand region. The House of Blues in North Myrtle Beach, located at Barefoot Landing, is a premier entertainment venue that combines live music, Southern-inspired cuisine, and vibrant atmosphere. Established in 1997, this 59,000-square-foot facility features a 2-level music hall with a standing capacity of 3,500 and seating for 500 people, hosting a variety of concerts and events throughout the year. Now, the venue includes a restaurant and a bar that offers signature dishes like voodoo shrimp and jambalaya, alongside craft cocktails and an extensive beer selection. Additional spaces, such as the deck, provide outdoor seating with live music and happy hour specials. With its unique blend of music, food, and art, the House of Blues offers an unforgettable experience for visitors and locals alike. Now, same thing goes for medieval times. It is a dinner show with knights, and they're fighting, and there's swords, and there's horses, and they are having a blast out there, getting you involved in that, in all that fun. Now, the Skywheel, a major Myrtle Beach landmark up the road. The Boardwalk and Promenade, another major landmark. Tanger Outlets. If you want to shop, that's where you want to go. Market Common. Now, Market Common is a city within a city. Guys, there's upscale shopping, White House Black Market, Southern Living. I mean, you name it, it's there. There's bookstores and movie theaters. They do all kinds of little festivals. Across the street is a $1.3 million playground called Savannah's Playground. You don't want to miss it. It's probably one of the most desirable places in our market to live. Now, Myrtle Beach International Airport, 15 minutes up the road. Let's get into golf. Dunes Golf and Beach Club. You got to go. It is luxury golf at its finest. You definitely want to check it out. It's right there oceanfront. Beautiful greens, an excellent place to play golf. Myrtlewood Golf Club, World Tour Golf Links, guys, is going to have holes from some of the best courses around the world. And of course, there's Top Golf. You do not want to miss Top Golf. Guys, there's individual lanes set up to go out, and it's a driving range. You have a blast. There's restaurants. They serve you food, friends, family. It's the kind of thing that you want to do. Get a group of your friends together and go out and hit that driving range. You won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun. Again, only just a few minutes up the road. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, so let's work through your appreciation right here at the Coral Beach Resort. Guys, 2015, if you had purchased a property, the low purchase price in 2015, $65,000. 2025, the high sales price was $193,100. The whole idea is buying low and selling high and remodeling right after you buy. Now, that appreciation is to the tune of $128,100. Guys, that's $12,810 per year if you bought and sold correctly and timed the market just right. You tell me where you can pay $65,000 into an investment and get out of it $128,100 in only 10 years. Guys, I can tell you where. Right here at the Coral Beach Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Guys, I'm excited to share with you the gross rental incomes of other units right here on site at the Coral Beach Resort. 904 in 2023 made $42,818.44. Unit 1134 in 2024 made $41,485.24. Unit 724 2024 $40,788.60. Guys, that was managed off-site through Big Fish Rentals and is proof positive of Gosha Cook, an investor that we had on the channel, of her advice. She said that there is an end user for every type of oceanfront condo resort situation. Those smaller one-bedroom units, a lot of those guests, those are adults that don't necessarily care for all of the on-site amenities. So if that's your market instead of families, then you can do very well with a one-bedroom unit that you can't allow all of your guests to use all of the on-site amenities. Here's proof positive to the tune of almost $41,000 that there is a market that rents smaller condos and could care less about on-site amenities. Now, Unit 620 at 2024 brought in $30,039.85. Unit 220 at 2024 brought in $28,056.55. Unit 1004 in 2024 brought in $42,779. That's an average gross rental income of $37,661 and a variance, the highest minus the lowest, of $14,762. Now, many people are always curious about, why is there such a variance in gross rental income numbers? In my opinion, the motivated, self-managing people make the money when it comes to oceanfront condo, Airbnb, short-term vacation rentals. Generally, a lot of times, on-site property managers don't do as good of a job, and even off-site property managers, with the exception for sure of Big Fish Rentals and Gosha Cook, they don't generally do as good of a job as somebody that's managing their own unit. So there's a lot of variance there. It could be a lot of reasons. We could speculate, but those are the few reasons I found. Now, what's the secret about concierge services? All right, guys, well, the point is to have concierge services. I once had a client that was featured in Forbes magazine. She had a unit over at the Sea Mist Resort. She made $33,000 with this unit. It did have a nice jacuzzi jet tub. She offered these packages to her clients, and it drove the gross rental income of the unit up. You know, basically bathrobes on the bed, rose petals, towel swans, chocolate, a gift for him, a gift for her, you know, vacation packages. You know, and you could do them themed, of course, you know, for people on their honeymoon and stuff like that. It's an excellent offering. You set up a direct booking website. They go right to your website. You have 3 packages, a $500, a $1,000, a $1,500, and they all include more things. And for the convenience of all of it being planned, in other words, you bought tickets, you contacted your cleaning lady, you gave her $100, and you had her go by, you know, go and order all this stuff for you. You know, order tickets to Pirates Voyage for 2. Dinner show, order a gift, get a gift card to this restaurant here for 2, you know, get tickets to the country music festival, get, you know, and all the little things, all the little different things that it'd be super simple and super easy that people want to go do in our market. Well, if you go ahead and take care of all of that, you've got it set up in a nice little envelope, it's sitting on the nightstand for them, it's on the counter as soon as they walk in, they've got a concierge experience. And they're going to have an excellent time on their vacation, and they're going to come back, and that's going to build repeat business year over year. And they didn't have to think about it. They didn't have to plan it. You send them an automated email. You signed up for package X. It includes this, 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 and this. We've already got your tickets. We got this. It's going to be on the nightstand for you, blah, 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 blah. Guys, it's simple and easy. And if you do 10 of those at $1,500, we're talking about an extra $15,000 at the end of the year in gross rental income. And all you did was set up a direct booking website, put a web page up, a landing page with 3 different packages, let them choose one, let them process their credit card right there online. You just offered it to them in addition to their rental when they signed up on Airbnb. You told your cleaning lady, hey, here's $100, go and get all these things for me and leave them in the room for this guest. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, do I buy this property as a second home, or do I buy it as an investment property? Well, guys, if you're going to use it, you might want to buy it as a second home. I'd say if you're going to use it 6 months out of the year, buy it as a second home. It's going to give you a cheaper interest rate, a lower down payment, you know, but you can only rent it out 180 days out of the year. Now, if you're in the game to make money and you're not really going to use it, or you're going to use it just a few weekends or a few weeks out of the year, then you probably want to buy it as an investment property. It's going to be at least 20%, most likely 25% down. It's going to have a higher interest rate. The bank knows you're making money. They want to make money with you. And you can rent it out, you know, 365 days a year. So you have no limits on renting it out. Now, if you buy it as a second home, it's got to be at least 75 miles from your primary residence. Additionally, you do have to occupy it at least 3 weeks out of the year. Now, remodeling your unit. Here's what investors do time and time again, guys. I see it all the time. I help investors do it. They use my contractors. It's so simple, it's so easy, and it applies to more than just oceanfront condos. It applies to real estate in general. People buy underperforming assets, properties, fix them up, and sell them. That's a fix and a flip. It's not rocket science. It's very logical. It's very simple. You buy a property that's ran down, you put some money into it, you sell it for more than you bought it for and more than the remodel cost. It's the same principle that you're doing here, except for you're just renting it out first for a few years while you hold it, and then you turn around and sell it. Now, you always want to buy the underperforming asset with the ugly carpet, the horrible countertops, the one that's ran down and looks disgusting. You want to buy that one. You want to put some money into it. I won't say always. If you're using financing and you can find one that's remodeled, it's most likely a smarter move. But for the most part, the strategy is simple. You buy an underperforming asset, you remodel it, and then you rent it out. You design it with all the top-notch design touches of the top 5% Airbnb properties, that are on the market. You make sure that you're better than all the competition. An accent wall with a fireplace and a mantle. You got popping, contrasting colors that catch people's eyes and attention on Airbnb. It has a very modern and a very trendy look. Like, listen, there's a game that you've got to play when you're attracting guests and rentals. You can't make the property look like whatever your tastes are and expect it to perform like a top 5%. You're catering to the masses. You're catering to a specific demographic, a specific audience. And there are key elements, like you want to have desk in the room for the kids. You want to have a little game station. You want to have a telescope by the balcony to drink wine and watch the stars. You want to advertise all that stuff in your listing. You want to have a coffee station for the mornings when they wake up. There's certain elements to this that really work, guys. And if you do it, you make great money. Yvonne, a client of mine, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. I can't stop talking about her. She bought an oceanfront condo for almost $600,000, a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom over at Ocean Reef. She remodeled it. She had it off the market for at least 2.5 months. When she bought the condo, it was making $104,400 in her first 12 months. Remember, she had it off the market for 2.5 months. So that means in less than 12 months, technically, 8.5 months, 9.5 months, whatever. Guess what? She made $140,000 in gross rental income and cleared $30,000 profit. She increased her gross rental income by $36,000 just her first year. She recouped the entire remodel plus some. Was it worth it to remodel the property? Absolutely. Is she already halfway there for a cash out refi? You better believe it. She's already improved the property. Now she's just got to wait a few years and let it appreciate and pull the money out of it, and she can go buy another one. Now, anyways, the point is the remodels work, guys. The top-notch products perform. It gets you winter rentals during the winter months. It makes you stand out and take market share, and you can charge a whole lot more money for a much larger and nicer condo that is in high demand. It's that simple and that easy. 1031 like-kind exchange, a very hot topic and one that many investors are interested in. Yes, you can do them with oceanfront condos. A 1031 exchange, named after Section 1031 of the IRS code, allows real estate investors to defer paying capital gains taxes when they sell an investment property, as long as they reinvest the proceeds into a like-kind property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. The key rules include identifying the replacement property within 45 days and closing on it within 180 days of the sale. Now, this strategy helps investors grow their portfolios more efficiently by deferring taxes and leveraging their equity. But it requires careful planning and the use of a qualified intermediary to handle the transaction. Guys, I have a qualified intermediary for you that I would like to introduce to you to help facilitate your 1031 like-kind exchange. It's that simple and that easy. If you're interested in purchasing properties and you're concerned about capital gains tax, this is a viable strategy that many investors use to build wealth. Get in contact with me. It's 843-360-1737, and I can help you with that 1031 like-kind exchange. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now let's talk through low HOAs versus high HOAs. Let's talk through special assessments and kind of the correlation and how this all plays out. Now people, first-time investors generally want a low HOA resort because they feel like it's less risk. I'm going to completely debunk that for you in just a minute. So I had a client ask me, well, how do I avoid getting hit with a bunch of special assessments? And she was basically working through the understanding that when you have an HOA that has a super low fee, most likely they're not setting aside money in reserves. In fact, most likely they're probably not running the business portion of the HOA well. They're not building up a cushion in case things happen and they need to fix it. Now, generally the higher HOAs are at resorts that have healthy businesses, and they're collecting, instead of setting aside every month when you pay your HOA dues, they are collecting reserves. Now those reserves will go to take care of, most likely, items that need to be fixed and are repaired on site. Now, would you rather pay $50 or $100 a month towards the reserves in your HOA payment, maybe even $150 a month? Or would you rather get hit with a $15,000 special assessment? In my opinion, it's smarter to pay it incrementally. It's not such a big blow. It's already accounted for, and they're setting money aside in the reserves so that they don't have to issue you a special assessment. With a lower HOA fee, they're going to issue you special assessments anytime something breaks or needs to be fixed. Is it better to have a low HOA fee and get hit with multiple assessments throughout the year or a few years in a row that eat through your profits, or just to go ahead and invest in a place that has a higher HOA fee that is putting aside money in reserves to take care of those things so that you don't have to have special assessments over and over and over again each and every year? So, in my opinion, it is more risk. In my opinion, it is more risk to purchase a lower tier oceanfront condo at a lower tier resort with lower HOA fees. It is because there's a lot more competition in the lower end of the market. Those smaller units, there's a huge supply of them. They don't appreciate as well, so there's nothing to really carry you through on the back. If you have a lean year or you get a bunch of special assessments or something hits you, there's nothing really to carry you through if you don't make a lot of profits on the smaller oceanfront condos, as opposed to the larger oceanfront condos that appreciate much better, and they can carry you through some of those lean years. Over the lifetime of the investment, you are still okay if you have a few years where you only make $5,000 profit, $10,000 profit, whatever, on those larger oceanfront condos, $15,000 profit on those leaner years, because they appreciate so well on the back end. It carries you through. You don't have that cushion with a smaller oceanfront condo. I ran numbers, I think it was over at the Dunes Village, on a guy, he was selling his condo. If he would have sold it as asking price, we're looking at $54,000 in appreciation while he owned that condo a year. That's substantial appreciation. As where the smaller oceanfront condos don't appreciate nearly as well, you'd be lucky to get $100,000. Or you'd be doing well at $100,000 appreciation for owning it 7, 8, 9, 10 years versus owning a larger oceanfront condo for 10 years and you're getting $300,000 in appreciation. So there's a lot more cushion in the appreciation aspect of it that's going to carry you overall. If you look at everything, the annual profits, and appreciation combined, if you look at both, there's a lot more cushion in those larger oceanfront condos. So, thinking through risk, people at low tier or resorts that are afraid of high HOA fees, and they think they justify it in their mind going, I'm taking less risk by buying something that's cheaper because it's less money out of pocket that I have to spend. Technically, they're positioning themselves to have the highest amount of competition, to have the lowest amount of hedge and appreciation, and to get hit with lots of special assessments. because their HOA is not setting money aside in the reserve account. Now you tell me what sense that makes, buying a low tier oceanfront condo with a low HOA fee, all because you're afraid to take on more risk. You're technically taking on more risk. All right, so if you have a 401k and you have retirement funds, but not enough to live off of, which many Americans are in that boat, because a 401k was never designed for you to retire off of. It was an account for executives to be able to stash away some extra cash, and it got turned into a quote-unquote retirement account. But there's generally, unless you have a ridiculous amount of money in that 401k, it's not going to be enough money for you to retire on. This is where Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos, real estate investing, comes into play, because you've got money in your account that you can be putting in hard assets that generate great annual profits, that appreciate, and that give you tax write-offs. And that's going to happen a lot faster than what you can do in the stock market. Now, or even with bonds, or even with long-term rentals. Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos are one of the best investments in the market. Now, 401k non-recourse loans. A non-recourse loan against a 401k is used when purchasing real estate within the 401k itself, typically through a self-directed solo 401k plan. In this setup, the 401k account, not the individual, purchases the property, not the individual, not the person, but the 401k purchases the property. And a non-recourse loan is used because IRS rules prohibit personal guarantees on 401k owned investments. Now, a non-recourse loan means the lender can only seize the property if there's a default. They cannot go after the investor's personal assets or the rest of the 401k funds. Now, this allows investors to leverage their retirement funds to buy real estate while keeping the investment compliant with IRS rules. However, only the 401k benefits from the investment returns. The annual profits you're making, you can't touch. It's got to go back into the 401k. It can't go into your personal account. And strict rules around prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. Guys, I just helped a client purchase an oceanfront condo at Dunes Village, a place that is infamous for gross rental income in our market, with a 401k non-recourse loan. It's a very smart move, guys, and you should get started now building that nest egg up. Absolutely. If you do not have enough money to retire on because you're planning on living longer, because your lifestyle demands it, then you need to get in contact with me so that I can get you in contact, and you have a 401k, of course, so that I can get you in contact with a qualified person that can do a 401k non-recourse loan for you. My cell phone's 843-360-1737. Give me a call and let me help you out. Those retirement years could be a whole lot better, and you could be living in a lot more comfort if you had that extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in profit coming in passively from an asset like an oceanfront condo. Now, guys, lots of people are concerned about HOAs. HOAs protect the appreciation aspect of your investment. You know, ultimately, the HOA consists of people that own at that particular resort, and they don't want to pay any of those high HOA fees or any more fees than they have to pay. However, they have enough sense to know that if they don't maintain the property and take care of it well, that the property is going to lose value, and the tourists are not going to continue to rent that property any longer. If that happens, the money that you're counting on in appreciation at the end of the investment when you go to sell it is gone. And that's what you don't want. The appreciation is an excellent builder of wealth. Additionally, it serves as a hedge in case you don't do as well renting your property out. Now, of course, I don't want that for you. I don't expect that for you. If you follow the channel, then you're learning all the things to do. If we've had a few conversations, I'm telling you what to do. So HOAs protect the investment. They protect that appreciation aspect of your property. And when you go to resell it, you're going to be really happy that you had an HOA. Now, investors often are concerned about higher HOA fees. Well, most of the time, the best resorts have the highest HOA fees. They have higher HOA fees. You do not let the HOA fee determine where you invest your money. You let the upside, you let the gross rental income, you follow the money, you follow the cash. It's horrible to allow fear of not having enough and you're not going to be able to make the payment, you're afraid the HOA is too high, to be the determinant as to where you invest. You know, not everybody is successful at investing. A lot of people think that way. Fear is what's driving their decision. Fear is not a smart investment strategy. I wouldn't let it be in the driver's seat if I was you. And you can't. You got to look at the units that are top performing, and you've got to go to those resorts. You got to check out the inventory and the products that are currently on the market, and you've got to invest where you've got upside and potential, where you can make money, because the whole point of this is to make money. You don't invest in a place with a low HOA fee at a low tier resort that doesn't have a really strong brand name. A lot of people don't know about it, and hardly anyone wants to rent there. In my opinion, it's just not a smart strategy. Why would you cap yourself at a place, let's say that, you know, has units, they're making $30,000 a year gross income, when you could be at a place that's making $90,000 or $100,000 a year, and you're putting $30,000 a year in profit in your pocket, all because you weren't intimidated by an HOA fee. And by the way, the tourists that rent the condo pay the fees. And if you're doing it well, and you've watched the interview with Matt Freeze, at least one of them, he plainly said that on his, he owns, you know, at the time I interviewed him, he owned 11 oceanfront condos. Guys, he plainly says June, July, and August, he makes enough money on his condos to pay all the bills for the whole year. So what are you worried about? What are you afraid about? Don't let that HOA fee intimidate you and stop you. Invest where you can make money and build wealth. It requires risk to build wealth. That's how it works. Let's talk about doing a cash out refi. Guys, the real estate strategy using a cash out refinance involves pulling equity from your first investment property after it has appreciated in value or you've paid down the mortgage, and using those funds as a down payment for your next property. Now here's how it works. You buy your first property, you improve it or hold it over time, and once it gains enough equity, you refinance it for more than you currently owe. You take the difference in cash, tax deferred, and use it to buy your second property. You repeat the process, improve, refinance, reinvest, and you create a snowball effect of portfolio growth without needing to come up with new capital for each deal. Now this method lets investors scale rapidly, but it requires good credit. Strategic property selection, that's where I come in, and you got to get the property selection right, because if not, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you're stifling that snowball effect. If you don't get this one right and it doesn't have solid financials, you might not get approval for the next condo or the cash out refi. Or anyways, the point is you want to make sure you get the right property. Now, strong cash flow is going to be important, and discipline to avoid over leveraging. You do not want to over leverage. So guys, it's very simple and very easy. Lots of people buy oceanfront condos using a cash out refi, either on their primary residence. They'll pull, you know, a few $100,000 out of their home. Of course, their mortgage goes up a little bit, $1,100, $1,200, depending upon how much money they pull out. And they purchase an oceanfront condo, or they do a cash out refi on the oceanfront condo that they bought their first one. It's that simple and that easy. It does create a snowball effect. Once you buy a property improvement and it appreciates, and you've paid down that mortgage, of course you're going to pull that cash out and buy another oceanfront condo. Well, you wait 3 or 4 more years. Now you've got 2 oceanfront condos that you can employ this same strategy with. You do it to both of them. Now you bought 2 more and you have 4 oceanfront condos. Well, yes, you can do it again. 4 more years goes by, you improve properties, you pay out all those profits you're making on the oceanfront condo rentals into the mortgage, and guess what you do? You buy 4 now. Now you got 8 oceanfront condos. So it creates a snowball effect, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that nest egg, allowing you to really build some substantial wealth over time. It's a very viable strategy. If you're interested in learning more about it, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's run through a cash scenario purchase right here at the Coral Beach Resort for a unit managed off-site. Now, you have a one-bedroom, one-bathroom. Your average purchase price right now for one bedrooms is $142,275. I've got your gross rental income number from Unit 904 of $42,818.44. Now, I did find a unit that made $40,700 and something through Big Fish Rentals off-site management program. So, in my opinion, there's very viable evidence that there's an end user for every type of oceanfront condo resort situation. In fact, it proves that even though users cannot use all of the on-site amenities, even though your guests can't use that, and it's plainly stated in the listing, guess what? Well, sure enough, people still rented these one-bedroom units to the tune of over $40,000 gross rental income. Now, your Airbnb platform fee of 3% was $1,284.55. Again, that gross rental income number was $42,818.44. If you take that $1,284.55 from the $42,818.44 gross rental income up top, you're left with a subtotal of $41,533.89. Now, your property taxes in 2024 were $1,985.28. That is for 1 year, not monthly. Your HO6 insurance was $1,000. Be sure to get an HO6 policy that does include lost gross rental income in case they remodel on your floor during the winter months and you can't rent your unit out. That way you still get paid. Now, your excise tax for having a City of Myrtle Beach business license is $385. That's a $145 base fee for the first $2,000 in gross rental income that you make. And then for every $1,000 after that, you do have to pay $6. That is for use in the police department and fire department. Now, your local hospitality and accommodations tax, $1,284.55. I've combined two taxes there. They're both 1.5% for a total of 3% of your gross rental income. And your annualized HOA dues were a whopping $15,924. Now, that operating expense subtotal is going to be $20,578.83. If you subtract that $20,578.83 from the subtotal up top of $41,533.89, guys, you are left with a projected profitability to the tune of $20,955.05. That's a cash-on-cash return of 15%. Now, cleaning costs are going to pass through to your guest on the Airbnb platform fee. And in fact, they're most likely going to generate a profit for you. Generally, you're going to have your cleaning person, maybe do a $120 fee for a one-bedroom unit, and then you're going to upcharge that to the guest $150, $170 per cleaning. So it's not technically an expense that you're going to have to pay at the end of the year. It will come out in the wash, and you'll end up actually making profit off your cleanings. But I have included a cleaning schedule, like a small fee there. You can see $3,600 based on 30 cleanings at $120 a cleaning. Personal property taxes I haven't included in this. When you buy an investment property, they do have you pay taxes on the furnishings inside the unit. Your HO6 insurance, of course, is not included in that HOA fee, so you have to have a separate policy. Get in contact with me if you want an insurance company that can do that for you. 843-360-1737. And then, guys, your electricity, internet, and pest control are included in that HOA fee. And your monthly HOA fee is a whopping $1,327. Now let's work through a financing scenario purchase right here at the Coral Beach Resort. Guys, again, that average purchase price was $142.75. Your down payment of 25% was $35,568.75. Your gross rental income from unit 904 was $42,818.44. Your Airbnb platform fee is 3% of the gross rental income at $1,284.55. If you subtract that from your gross rental income up top of $42,818.44, yes, you have a subtotal of $41,533.89. Now, your principal and interest on this loan was $8,952. that does assume a 30-year fixed rate loan at 75% of the purchase price, of course, with you paying that 25% down at a 7.5% interest rate. Now, your property taxes were $1,985.28. Your HO6 insurance was $1,000, probably actually going to be a little bit less than that. Your excise tax was $385, local hospitality and accommodations tax $1,284.55, and annualized HOA dues $15,924. Guys, that monthly HOA fee does come out to $13.27, but there are some amazing on-site amenities, and from what we understand, the best resorts that are managed the best and most of the time have reserve funds in place are going to have those higher HOA fees. If you go with a resort that has lower HOA fees, generally you're going to get hit with more special assessments. More on that later in the video. Now, your cash on cash return after financing is 34%. Guys, you're putting in $35,568.75 and you're getting out $12,003.05. You tell me, where can you put $35,000 and within a year make 12 grand? Not to mention appreciation, not to mention tax write-offs. I know where. Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos. Give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. All right, guys, so let's work through your depreciation right here at the Coral Beach Resort. Guys, with a purchase price of $142,275 over 27.5 years useful life, according to the IRS, your taxable income deduction is $5,173.64. Yes, you are effectively reducing your taxable income by $5,173.64 per year. Now, the IRS allows you to depreciate this unit for depreciation, obviously for wear and tear, and for economic obsolescence. That means as newer buildings get built, the older ones lose value, thus you're losing some value, and they're going to let you write that off. Now, I do want to say that you should do what's called a cost segregation study. That's where you accelerate depreciation and take off a larger amount in a given year. You could be writing off as much as $40,000 in a given year. If you need a CPA that specializes in doing cost segregation studies, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Now, you're probably wanting to know, what are the top 5 oceanfront condo resorts in Myrtle Beach, or in the market period? Well, in the market period, I found one at Sea Marsh last year. The place only has one pool. It's not like a super nice place, but the guy had the right design elements on the unit. He made $90,000 in gross rental income on his unit. In my estimation, he cleared $24,000 profit. He's just got a well-designed unit, you know, and the place is standard. It doesn't have major amenities, doesn't have crazy draws. It's got an $847 a month HOA, a low HOA, but guess what? He crushed it because of the design element on the unit. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Nothing special, nothing hidden. Sea Marsh, it's up there. Ocean Reef, Yvonne, she's up there. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Caribbean, 1-bedroom, made $72,000 in gross rental income. Let me see here. Dunes Village, by far, absolutely. The majority of their units consistently outperform the rest of the market. Their ocean view units perform better than probably most oceanfront units elsewhere because they have an indoor water park and you can rent the unit out 12 months out of the year due to that indoor water park. It is a sustainable competitive advantage. Dunes Village continues to be one of the top performers in the market. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom that made $103,000 over there. Definitely killing it. I found a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It's under contract now. Made $124,000. I mean, like, Dunes Village, definitely. Finally, I'd say Oceans One or Resort. I found a unit over there, a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom that made $109,000. Yes, Oceans One over in the south end of the beach. I know a lot of investors are skeptical about it, but guys, people are making money there to the tune of $109,000. We're talking, you know, $29,000 profit. So that's my top 5. If you want to know more, get in contact with me, have a conversation with me, call me, guys. I really enjoy hearing from you guys. It's 843-360-1737. Send me a text message, shoot me an email, jump on a live Zoom call with me, ask me your questions, and let's get you somewhere into this investing game that you really want to be in, building wealth and securing a great future for you and your family. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.